Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting into order. It is 6 p.m. If I can please have a roll call.
Councilmember Peralta.
Present.
Councilmember Alonso.
Here.
Councilmember Romero.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Tamayo.
Here.
Mayor Melendez.
And I am here. All right, we'll move on to the announcement of the closed session items.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. At this time, it's appropriate to consider public comments on any closed session items. And if not, we would recess into closed session. Do we have any requests to speak on closed session items?
We have none.
Thank you so much. We do have items 1 through 4. Item 5 will not be discussed this evening. So as listed on the agenda, the 4 items that are listed will be discussed in closed session. It's appropriate to recess into closed session.
Okay, at this time, we'll be recessed into closed session. We'll be back after we discuss all items. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting back into order. We're here in open session. I'll turn over to our city attorney to provide a report on the closed session items.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Members of the City Council, the record should reflect that the City Council, with all 5 members being present, recessed into closed session to discuss the items as listed on the agenda, items 1 through 4. The City Council discussed items 2, 3, and 4, and will be recessing back into closed session to discuss item 1 after the conclusion of tonight's open portion of the meeting. I should indicate that the City Council received a briefing on those 3 items, and there was no action that's required to be reported at this time pursuant to the Brown Act. So with that, that is my report for closed session, and we will defer item 1 for further conversation after closed session. That concludes my report. It's appropriate to continue with the open portion of the meeting.
Okay, thank you, City Attorney. I know there's folks coming in, so we'll have them settle in. But at this time, I do want to ask our city clerk for the invocation and our city treasurer for the Pledge of Allegiance. If you can all please rise.
Father, we are thankful for this day that you have given us, for its blessings, its opportunities, its challenges. May we appreciate and use each day that comes to us. As we gather here today, we pray that we are ever mindful of our opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas, and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better community. We ask this in thy name. Amen.
Already begin.
Thank you to our city clerk and our city treasurer. We'll move on to any corrections to the agenda. I'll turn over to the city manager.
Mayor, council member, there aren't any corrections to the agenda today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I would like to invite my colleagues to go up in the front with me to begin the presentation portion of the agenda. Hello, everyone. Good evening. We have a packed house here. We'd like to we're back to the Citizen of the Month, and we'd like to recognize Shari Shio. Hopefully, she's here. There you go. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. So I'm gonna say a few things, and then I'd love for you to come up here and receive all the great gifts, the proclamation, and our thanks for everything that you do for our community. Sure. Yeah, join us over here. Congratulations. Yeah. Tonight it is an honor to recognize a woman whose leadership, compassion, and service have profoundly impacted the lives of many in our community. Sherry has called Montebello home since 1971, and for more than 2 decades, she has devoted herself to guiding and mentoring young people as the Cub Master for PAC 45 here in Montebello, a role she has held for an incredible 22 years. Additionally, for the past 9 years, she has also served as a Cub Master for PAC 365 at Mission Valley Free Methodist Church, where she and her husband were longtime participants in the children's ministry. Over the years, she has worn many hats, including serving as her troop's treasurer and always finding ways to support the growth and success of her scouts. Her leadership has inspired projects that extend beyond scouting and into the wider community. Recently, her PAC assembled and donated 25 happy birthday bags filled with cake mix, frosting, candles, and decorations to the Miraculous Meadows Church Food Bank, helping ensure that families in need could still celebrate special moments with joy. For Sherry, her greatest reward is seeing her Cub Scouts grow and ultimately earn the rank of Eagle Scout. But Sherry's service goes far beyond scouting. During the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, she and her husband, Sam, stepped into care for an elderly couple they met at church, providing meals and companionship during those difficult times. Even after the husband's passing earlier this year, Sherry and Sam continue to care for his wife, honoring his last request and showing an inspiring example of compassion. Through her decades of service, both seen and unseen, Sherry has embodied the spirit of community. Her kindness, leadership, and selflessness make Montebello a stronger, more caring community. On behalf of the City Council and the people of Montebello, we are proud to recognize Sherry as our October 2025 Citizen of the Month. If we can please give her a round of applause. And now I'd like you to say a few words.
Oh my gosh. So it's because of all of you guys out there. It's what you're my mentors, you're my where we follow. I mean, I don't do it alone, obviously. I follow them. So you guys made me Citizen of the Month. I'm so proud of all of you. But I appreciate it and I'm just honored. So, and I love the council, right? We're all you've helped us in everything. Anyways, you guys, the Montebello, I love Montebello. And we're here to stay.
Let's give her now another round of applause. And again, just thank you for all of your service. And if we can take some pictures here, and I know there's some family and friends that we'd love to welcome up here as well.
You guys are prepared.
We know the routine. Yeah. Harvey, no, if I'm right here, yeah. Oh, wrong maybe,
Maybe we should move the back so they're in
Yeah.
front of us. Yeah, so that way, because they're smaller. Oh, well, I don't want to be on the floor then. Or back there.
Everybody looking right here.
1, 2, 3, Sherry.
1, 2, 3,
Sherry.
Great cheese. I love that. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, wait, one more.
my neighbor. That's so funny, huh? Congratulations. Yeah, absolutely. We have some gifts for you too. Oh, so you might need some help. Yeah. Fun. Nice to see you. I hope you have a good one.
It looks nice.
Does?
Here you go, Sherry. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We have one more?
No, you know what? The family is here, so just hold on, let me go and get
Oh, okay.
What's going on?
Nice to see you. That was cute. I know. I forgot his name. I knew his name, but
All right. Okay. All right. I'd like to first welcome Priscilla's family or representatives up here. I'll read a little bit about the proclamation, then I'll pass it over to you all, okay? As part of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we also recognize Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day, observed nationwide on October 13th. Metastatic breast cancer, also known as stage 5 breast cancer, occurs when the disease spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body, such as the bones, liver, lungs, or brain. While advances in treatment have improved quality of life and extended survival, there's still no cure. More than 168,000 people in the United States are currently living with metastatic breast cancer, and each of their journeys deserves to be seen, understood, and supported. This day is dedicated to raising awareness about the challenges faced by those living with metastatic breast cancer and to advancing research that brings us closer to new treatments and ultimately a cure. On behalf of the City of Montebello, we extend our respect, compassion, and unwavering support to all those living with metastatic breast cancer, their caregivers, and the organizations working tirelessly to improve their lives. We were asked by a resident here, Councilor Peralta, I know you flagged this as well, and you were in contact with Priscilla. I think most of us know here Priscilla, and I know she's going through some stuff right now, and I'll let your family member, yeah, and I'll let her speak a little bit more about this, and knowing that she's in our thoughts, prayers, and but I'll let you speak a little bit more and get this proclamation, okay?
Thank you, Mayor Melendez, council members, and the City of Montebello for the opportunity to accept this proclamation. Sorry. On behalf of my sister, Priscilla, and all the courageous women in our community and beyond who are living with or have been lost to metastatic breast cancer, this proclamation is more than a formality. It is a reminder. Each October, we see the pink ribbons and campaigns for breast cancer, but it is important to remember that awareness goes beyond pink and beyond early detection. The tricolor ribbon, as seen on my shirt, pink, teal, and green, represents metastatic breast cancer and for the urgent need for greater public attention, more research, funding, and stronger awareness so that women diagnosed at later stages have better options, improved quality of life, and hope for survival. Today, here in our wonderful city, we take a step towards that recognition. By acknowledging metastatic breast cancer, Montebello shows that we are committed to shining a light shining a light on all aspects of this disease, not just its beginning, but also its impact on those who are diagnosed far too late. On behalf of my sister Priscilla and everyone affected, thank you for helping us raise voices, expand the conversation, and move closer to a future where metastatic breast cancer no longer claims the lives of many. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe we also have a video.
Friends, family, Montebello, neighbors. I want to thank everyone for listening to this video. I am coming to you today. My name is Priscilla Gonzalez. I live in Montebello. I am diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. Metastatic breast cancer is the only breast cancer that kills, yet it receives very little funding. I was diagnosed in April 2024. I found my own lump, and because I'm under 40, it was very difficult to get a mammogram. Long story short, I was diagnosed de novo, which meant that the cancer was already spread, and that happens very commonly. Also, women who have early detection do have recurrences and then become stage 4 and die. Unfortunately, metastatic breast cancer also receives the smallest amount of funding in breast cancer because there's not a lot of research being done on how to extend our lives. So, by acknowledging October 13th as Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness in Montebello, and by thinking outside of just the pink box, we can make a change, and we can make a change to keep our women alive longer. Men also get breast cancer. We also will build solidarity with patients and hopefully raise the awareness around the type of research that we need to keep women like me alive. I appreciate everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Come back. Take a photo for your mom.
One, two, three, and one more. Great, thank you.
All right, we'll continue with the presentations. This month is Bullying Prevention Month. October is also recognized as National Bullying Prevention Month, a time to come together as a community to stand up against bullying in all of its forms. Bullying, whether verbal, physical, or online, can have long-lasting effects on a person's confidence, safety, and mental well-being. The rise of cyberbullying has made it even more important that we educate, intervene, and support one another. In Montebello, we are proud to provide programs and partnerships that help foster kindness, leadership, and inclusion amongst our youth and adults alike. Our schools, recreation centers, and community organizations all play a part in making sure Montebello remains a place where everyone feels valued, respected, and safe. This month and every month, we encourage all residents to take a stand against bullying, to speak up, support one another, and help make Montebello a community where everyone can thrive without fear or intimidation. October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time to raise our collective voice against a devastating issue that affects individuals and families across every community. Domestic violence takes many forms: physical, emotional, psychological, financial, or digital. And it impacts people of all backgrounds, regardless of age, gender, or circumstance. It is a serious crime that destroys lives and damages the fabric of our communities. Here in Montebello, we are committed to education, prevention, and ensuring that survivors have access to help and protections they need. We also recognize the difficult and dangerous work performed by our law enforcement officers, victim advocates, and service providers who respond to these incidents and offer hope to those affected. This month, let us reaffirm our commitment to creating a community rooted in respect, equality, and safety for all. Together, we can help end domestic violence and support those working every day to prevent it. As mayor, here I stand before you all this evening to recognize a cause that deeply affects so many families across our nation: Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Each October, we come together under the symbol of the pink ribbon to raise awareness, support early detection, and honor the courage of those who have faced breast cancer. It's a time to stand with survivors, remember those we have lost, and offer strength to their families and loved ones. This year, more than 310,000 women and 2,800 men in the United States are expected to be diagnosed with breast cancer. Sadly, over 43,000 lives will be lost. These numbers remind us of why continued education, screening, and research are so critical. Here in Montebello, we reaffirm our commitment to promoting health and wellness, ensuring access to care, and supporting those affected in every stage of their journey. Together, let's continue to spread awareness, encourage regular screenings, and offer compassion and hope to everyone impacted by this disease. To help support those affected by breast cancer and to find a cure, visit the National Breast Cancer Foundation at www.nationalbreastcancer.org. And finally, the City of Montebello recognizes October as Down Syndrome Awareness Month, a time to celebrate the abilities, accomplishments, and contributions of people with Down syndrome. Down syndrome occurs when an individual has an extra copy of chromosome 21, and it affects people of all races, backgrounds, and economic groups. In the United States, approximately 5,100 babies are born with Down syndrome each year, about 1 in every 770 births. Today, thanks to advances in medical care, education, and advocacy, people with Down syndrome are living longer, healthier, and more fulfilling lives than ever before. They are students, athletes, artists, professionals, and active members of our community who enrich the lives of everyone around them. This month, we encourage everyone in Montebello to celebrate inclusion, support equal opportunity, and help empower individuals with Down syndrome to reach their full potential. Together, we can build a city where everyone is valued, respected, and given the chance to shine. Okay. We'll be moving on to our public comments on non-agenda items.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, council members. This is the time for members of the public who wish to address the City Council on non-agenda items. They're for a 30-minute period. Anyone who wishes to address the City Council should have turned in a card previously. And at this time, I'll inquire from the City Clerk, are there any cards for non-agenda items?
Yes, we have a total of 4 speakers.
4 speakers, okay. The time right now is 7:36. Thank you.
Very well. First speaker is Rosa Tamayo, followed by Raúl Hurtado.
Buenas noches, honorable mayor Salvador Meléndez, en miembros del concilio. Yo soy Rosa Tamayo.
Good evening, honorable members of the council and Mr. Mayor. My name is Rosa Tamayo.
Quiero decirles que en esta ciudad necesitamos más árboles que nos den oxígeno.
I'd like to tell you this city needs more trees to provide oxygen because
Vivimos entre dos freeways y un basurero que está incinerando.
Because we live between two freeways and there is a trash disposal area that incinerates the trash.
Y hay facilidades de viviendas también, más en el sur de Montebello, que no tienen ni un árbol
There are also
verde.
facilities of residential living in the south of Montebello that don't have even one tree among them.
Porque no quieren usar agua, pienso yo, pero se necesita
I think it's because we don't want to waste water, but it's needed.
más árboles.
We need more trees.
También les he dicho, hay que tener un control de renta porque es demasiado alto el costo de la vivienda.
I have also mentioned that we should have rent control because the cost of living is too high when it comes to rent.
Hay mucho desalojo.
There's a lot of evictions.
Porque la gente no tiene el dinero suficiente, el empleo está muy bajo.
Because people cannot afford it and they don't have there's not a lot of employment.
Y el mínimo del % que se paga es muy bajo también.
And the minimum percentage that is paid is also very low.
Para el alto porcentaje de lo que cuesta todo lo que necesitamos.
For a high percentage of everything that we need to buy, and it's very expensive.
Para conocimiento de personas que a veces piensan, oh, ¿por qué la señora Tamayo habla español y necesita un intérprete? Es porque yo también uso la ley AB 350.
For those of you who wonder why does Rosa Tamayo need an interpreter in Spanish, it's because I'm using law AB 350.
Así como el presidente de Estados Unidos usa un intérprete cuando va a hacer sus negocios.
Just like the president of the United States uses an interpreter when he needs to carry on his business.
Sus personales intereses.
His personal interest.
Usa un intérprete
He uses an interpreter
cuando quiere hablar con México o con algún consulado de Arabia o con quien sea.
Whenever he wants to talk to any other country like Mexico or Saudi Arabia, anywhere.
La otra cosa que quiero decirle al Chief Luis Rodríguez
Another thing I want to say to Mr. Chief
es
Luis
que
Rodríguez,
en el meeting pasado se vio muy mal el interés personal de tener todos los oficiales de la policía aquí alrededor.
in the last meeting,
Nosotros necesitamos
in the last meeting, it was really bad optics for us to have the police all around us.
a los oficiales más allá afuera en la calle para que nos protejan.
We want the police officers in the street to protect us.
Necesitamos parar ese comportamiento de usar intereses personales.
We need to stop that type of behavior that favors personal interests.
Por favor, pongan atención
Please pay attention to that
porque se mira muy mal.
because it's really bad optics.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. So we can please have the next speaker.
Next speaker is Raul Hurtado, followed by Linda Nicholas.
Let me see here. Public communications on item of community interest. Last city council meeting, it was quite a showing of all the police officers association spoke praising the police chief. Then first of all, the police officers association, then the management association had a term praising him. They spoke of all the accomplishment he has done in the short time he has been chief. I would say there is no way he could have done this in the short time that he has been chief. I would say also Chief Espinosa started them, and now Chief Louis Lopez is taking credit for them like he has in the past. Even the clerical association had their turn at the mic. Then we had the grand finale when the shady meat company praised him after they supposedly had treated the police officers to a meal. I say shady meat company because there are a lot of, they don't do business in Montebello, and there's a lot of allegations toward them that this is their mode of operation. All this stuff encourages me to keep on keeping on. Why is all this support for the for the police chief needed at such an early stage of him being chief? Now I find myself in a paragraph in a letter sent out to the members of the association, which is completely false. I'm assuming that most of you read that. The author of the letter, I've always treated with respect, even though I heard so many bad things about him. If he is trying to overthrow the association leadership, do not mention me. Now the gloves are off. I suggest he write a letter about several years ago when he and another officer were dispatched to a call, and this Keystone cop pulled his gun and shot at the other officer thinking he was a suspect. Thank God this Keystone cop is a bad shot. A cover-up followed, and basically he was not disciplined. How about the many times he incorrectly filled out papers or lacked to fill out, and he was able to rip the city off for thousands of dollars? Again, no investigation, because the city manager said it was a personnel matter and he would handle it. There seems to be a lot of cover-ups for this person because the chief and the city manager need a mole. I guess the police chief is now sending the big guns after me because on Monday afternoon, a police cadet went out of his way to harass me and threaten me with a ticket, to which I replied, "Give it to me." A formal complaint. I entered a formal complaint, and I expect to hear that this is a personnel matter, and the chief or the city manager will handle it, like they do all the time. When the city manager put Louis Lopez in the chief of police, he made that position a political position.
Thank you for your
This has now
comments.
divided the police force. This
you.
is certainly not what Montebello needs.
Thank you for your comment.
I urge the public to come out and voice their feelings, especially the many
Thank you.
persons who
We're
urge
at
the
time,
city
Mr. Hurtado.
not to
Mr. Hurtado, we're at time. We're at time. If I can please, Mr. Hurtado, we can please have the next speaker.
Next speaker is Linda Nicholas, followed by Tila Gregorian.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Melendez, staff, and community. My name is Linda Nicholas. I'm the co-founder of Match 90640. It was brought to my attention both Alonso and Romero do not park in their assigned spots with their names and their titles, instead are parking under City Hall. As far back as I can remember, no member of the council has ever parked under City Hall. I was also told it was because both of you are in fear of threats. From who? A veteran senior or me, a disabled senior? Romero, aren't you a veteran? Wasn't it you, Rick, that started a fight with a resident in your district? Then, like a crybaby, wanted to press charges against the man and have the LA district attorney file against him? Were you not only told no charges would be filed, but witnesses said you were the aggressor, taking off your glasses, threatening the man to fight you? Want to tell us again why you're in fear? That is not only ridiculous, it's hilarious. No wonder neither of you want to park in your assigned spaces, stating your name and the fact that you are both fake council members. Neither of you were voted into your district. Please do not believe the speakers that come up and say, what a good job you're doing. FYI, they are getting paid and signed a contract, and we all know with who. I was asked, why do you even bother to go up and speak? They don't have the manners to show you respect to any of the speakers. They are looking down on their phones and they don't care what you say. My answer was, I speak to put items on the record, like when you, Tamayo, and you, Scarlett, appointed Rick. Residents came up and asked you not to do it. We also put it on the record by another speaker and myself stating the city ordinance and the state ordinance you would be breaking, yet your puppet master sat in the front row to guarantee you to appoint Rick, and he was sworn in that night. Now when the Corwanto goes to court and the video showing both of you breaking the law of the quorum of 3, where you were both aware of the ordinance. You cannot plead ignorance of the law because you were told what the law was. That is why when I come up to speak, 7 years ago, former council members were warned that they were breaking the law. Our group Match testified before the JLAC committee in Sacramento and won a unanimous 13-0 full forensic audit of our city. In that report, it stated 14 out of 16 contracts that were awarded were in fact illegal. 14 out of 16. Soon, very soon, you'll learn that I don't come up here and we don't speak empty words. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. If we can please have the next speaker.
Next speaker is Tila Gregorian.
Good evening, council members, council staff, and residents of Montebello. My name is Sheila Gregorian, and I've been a resident of Montebello for most of my life. I want to commend you for acknowledging Breast Cancer Month. I have been a breast cancer survivor for many, many years. They don't even want to follow up with me anymore. So it's wonderful to have a city stand up behind residents that have been affected by breast cancer. It's not an easy thing to deal with, and I commend this lady that was you show a video of today for speaking out. We need to have more patients that would be advocates for breast cancer for women. Unfortunately, I was too busy to really get involved. I just followed what I was told to do, and actually I even refused treatment. And I said, no. I just prayer is my treatment. So I have been a breast cancer survivor for many years, but thank you for acknowledging this Breast Cancer Month. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Mayor, that does conclude all speakers on non-agenda items.
Okay, we'll move on to any staff communications on items of community interest.
Yes, Mayor and council members, we have a couple items that we want to bring to the public's attention. First, I want to share some good news regarding the financial standing of the city of Montebello. Recently, our credit rating has been upgraded by S&P Global Ratings from an A+ to AA-, reflecting the city's strong financial performance, sound management practices, and commitment to fiscal responsibility. The report highlighted a few things, which are the following: our strong general fund performance with 3 consecutive years of operating surpluses, robust growth in property and sales tax revenues, reserves restored to policy compliant levels, which are 25% of our operating revenues, our prudent long-term financial planning and conservative budgeting practices, moderate debt and well-funded pension obligations. This milestone underscores Montebello's ongoing recovery and sustainable fiscal outlook, a testament to the strong leadership and dedicated financial stewardship. I really, in particular, want to commend Michael Solarza, our finance department, directors as well. This is a complete team effort. This reflects all the positive steps that the city has taken to just set the tone in terms of our financial accountability. Getting your credit rating raised, it's not an easy task. And Michael spent a lot of time working with these folks, providing information, talking them through it, and thankfully they saw the good things that are happening in Montebello. So thank you, Michael. Thank you to your staff for all the work you've done on this. Also want to pass it on to David Sosnowski. We have a pretty important event coming up this weekend. You want to talk about it?
Thank you, Mr. City Manager, Mayor, members of the council, members of the public as well. Just want to invite all members of the community to celebrate the city's 105th anniversary this weekend at Montebello City Park and Whittier Boulevard, specifically Friday, October 10th, Saturday, October 11th, and Sunday, October 12th. So bear with me, I'm going to talk about the whole weekend. On Friday, October 10th, we'll be hosting a carnival with live music, food, and games from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at City Park. On Saturday, October 11th, the festivities continue from 12 to 10 p.m., again featuring live music, cultural performances, artists and vendors, a beer garden operated by our very own Lions Club, This day will also provide shuttle services from Montebello City Hall and Hollyfield Park for folks that need to get transportation to and from the event. Entertainment on Saturday also includes the La Paloma Latin Jazz Band and the Montebello Wise Guys Big Band Machine closing out the night. On Sunday, October 12th, is a large day, so starting at 8 a.m. on Whittier Boulevard, right in front of City Park, we'll be having our annual 5K, 10K run/walk for adults, youth, anyone that wants to come out and join. As of now, nearly 700 runners are signed up, so it's looking like our largest 5K to date. Additionally, the annual parade returns with the Heritage Festival's 105th anniversary celebration of the parade, city's parade, begins at 10:30 a.m. at Whittier and 5th Street and travels westbound to Montebello City Park. The rest of the festivities continue that day, again with music, food, vendors, and more from 12 to 9 p.m., again featuring the carnival all 3 days. So, Mr. City Manager, that's all I have to announce today about the Heritage Festival. Thank you.
Awesome. That concludes our comments. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for sharing the items of community interest. There's a lot of fun activity happening this weekend. We'll move over to our regular business. Item number 12, which is award agreement number 4411 to Montebello Electric Inc. for installation of a traffic signal at Whittier Boulevard and 6th Street. And I believe we have a presentation by our Public Works Director.
Thank you, Mayor, council members, staff, and members of the audience. This quick presentation is for our traffic signal at Whittier Boulevard and 6th Street. So as you recall, several months ago, the general public had an opportunity to vote on a scrambled crosswalk, the first scrambled crosswalk, not only in the city, but in the nearby cities as well. And it also has a decorative feature, which is really going to highlight this project. So originally, there was a 132-unit development that was approved through the Planning Commission and the City Council. And part of the conditions of approval was to add a traffic signal at this intersection. And so the developer also contributed to the construction of this project. Some just general background. City Council approved the plan specs and engineering estimate and notice of invited bid on August 13th of 2025. The city received 6 bids in September of 2025, and staff reviewed all of the bids, contacted references, and the lowest, most responsible bidder was Montebello Electric. The engineer's estimate was $719,550. The lowest bid, including 10% contract contingency, is $658 and change, which then leads us to a cost savings of a little bit over $60,000, which represents a 9.2% reduction from the engineer's estimate. So hopefully everything is good when we start construction. And this is a beautiful way not just to beautify the city with some of the improvements at the intersection, but also enhance the safety of the Whittier Boulevard corridor. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you for the presentation. First, do we have any speakers on this?
We do not.
No? Okay, I'll look around to see if any of my colleagues have any questions, comments. Okay, seeing none. Thank you for the presentation. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve this item.
I'll motion to approve.
Okay, we have a first by Councilmember Peralta.
Second.
We have a second by Councilmember Alonso. If I can please have a roll call.
Councilmember Peralta?
Aye.
Councilmember Alonso?
Aye.
Councilmember Romero?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Tamayo?
Aye.
Mayor Melendez?
And I vote aye. All right, that item carries 5-0. We'll move on to our consent calendar.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. We have consent agenda items 13 through 26. First, let me inquire from the city clerk, are there any requests to speak on any of those items?
We have none.
Okay, let me poll the council. These are items 13 through 26. Does any council member, these items will all be approved in a single motion unless any member of the city council wishes to speak on any individual item. Let me start on the rotation tonight. Councilmember Peralta, do you have any items?
Yes, items 14, 19, and 20.
14, 19 and 20.
Sorry, one more, 23.
I'm sorry,
23 as well.
23 also?
Yeah.
Okay. Councilmember Alonso.
No items.
Thank you. Councilmember Romero.
I just wanted to pull the same items, 14 and 20.
14 and which one?
20.
20, okay. And Mayor Pro Tem Tamayo,
Item 15.
15. And also Mayor Melendez. Okay, so that takes us through for a motion on items 13, 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, 23, I'm sorry, 24, 25, and 26.
I motion to approve.
We have a first by Councilmember Alonso,
I'll second.
second by Councilmember Peralta. If I can please have a roll call.
Councilmember Peralta,
Aye.
Councilmember Alonso,
Aye.
Councilmember Romero,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Tamayo,
Aye.
Mayor Melendez.
And I vote aye. Okay, we'll go on down to the items that got pulled. And we have item number 14 that got pulled by Councilmember Peralta as well as Councilmember Romero. So I'll turn it over to Councilmember Peralta.
Yeah, thank you so much. I do just have a question, but I also want to highlight, just very excited to see the fiscal year 24-25 SB1 streets coming forward in the next step in terms of street repaving for the city. I did want to ask, what is the current timeline in terms of this specific project starting?
Once it's awarded, right? Starting? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cesar,
Once
do you wanna-
awarded.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. City Manager. Good question. So if this is approved tonight, we will coordinate with the contractor, All American Asphalt, and we shall start to take a look at when the project will start. So we're hoping to start within the next month or so. And then it all depends on which sections of the streets that they start off in. But this project, we're hoping to start within the next month or so. And I know the hard part about working during the holidays is, you're trying to coordinate and try not to disrupt as much as possible.
Yeah.
The many lives of everybody that, has family over and so forth for the holidays.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So this is specifically for the 24-25 SB1. And then additionally, we have 25-26 list of streets that will also be brought forth for implementation this fiscal year as well, correct?
That's correct. We are already working on the contract specifications. Something to highlight too, this is rubberized asphalt, so it's a sustainable material. We're taking away roadway tires that end up in landfills, and we're reusing them for our roadways segments.
Thank you. Very excited to see more street repaving from both lists of these each SB1 fiscal years that we'll be moving forward with. Thank you so much, Director.
Okay, Councilmember Romero.
Yes, I just wanted to echo the same as Councilmember Peralta. We're very excited to see this happen. It's definitely long overdue. And she already asked a couple of the questions I did. However, I do have a question for the residents who may have felt that they were overlooked or their streets were in definite need of repair. Is there any way that they can get on a list to have their street looked at to see for the future 26, 27 list? Or is there anything that they can submit to have their street looked at?
So about a month or so ago, give or take, we adopted the payment management system. And what we do currently have is on the city's website, we have all of the streets in alphabetical order. And then they're also based in numerical order as to from worst to first. So basically, if the residents are able to get a hold of the city's website, you could go on the Public Works specific site and then look at what street is depending on, your roadway segment. And then it shows you from worst to first. So if you happen to be, in the first sheet, there's a possibility, depending on where you're at there, to be chosen for next year.
Yes, I understand that, but there are still some residents that feel that their streets were overlooked on that list. Is there any way they can still submit it to have a second look at their street? Just
Yeah, one of the efforts that we've done in the last couple of years to really make decisions, while we understand residents always feel that their street needs to be improved, we try to make data-based decisions, right? So what Cesar's talking about, the pavement managed plan, that's literally a plan that defines what the conditions are of our roads, and then based on that, what is the need. So the way this should work, and it will work, is that us as staff will work with council, will populate based on the data, and make recommendations to council of what are the top 10 worst streets. That's also complemented by actual how much funding we have per year, right? So it's not as simple as like, yes, I know every resident wants their street repaved and they want to get on a list. It's not an arbitrary list that, I don't make a decision just because I'm the city manager that the street needs to get paved. So we really need to follow the data we have and work off that data to really define what are the streets that have the most need as possible. So I think what would be helpful, maybe council member, maybe you and I can connect, and Cesar and I can talk to these residents, right? Sometimes it's maybe not just repaving, right? Maybe there might be other street conditions that we can assist with. So yeah, we're happy to talk to those residents and see what we can do moving forward. Okay?
Understood. Thank you.
Duly noted, though. Thank you.
And just as a follow-up, City Manager, when it's like or to our Public Works Director, when it's data-driven, how do we obtain that data? Like, is it on reporting of potholes, or are we looking at, how are we gathering that data? Like, hey, that street is in top of the list,
Right, so that's a good question. So we actually have, like a van, and the van is able to detect subsurface cracks and writability, not just visual. A lot of times the street will look like it's in horrible shape, but structurally, the bottom 2.5 inches, they're relatively strong, right? And so when you do look at certain streets, one of the confusion for a lot of residents, they'll say, hey, my street looks worse than that street. But in reality, the underlining thickness of that one street is probably less. So through radar, you're able to detect, hey, on this street, we only have 2.5 inches, which is what happened in the past. When we start to grind, when we're replacing 2 inches in order to, use as much money as possible to pave as many streets as possible, we're hitting the dirt. And in reality, what you should have rock base. But when these streets were placed, say 30, 40, 50 years ago, they didn't do that. They would just use the native soil. So in reality, in order for us to take some streets down, you have to excavate about 1 foot, where you're adding 6 to 8 inches of rock base, which is very expensive, and another 3 to 4 inches of actual asphalt. And so if we did that, we would probably be paving 1 street a year. You know what I mean? Because that gets very expensive. So on the science of that, using this radar detection and then writability and other sort of items of that's how we would come up with the scale. And then like we did the last year or so, the last couple of times, we've come to city council and said, hey, here's the list in your district, and then you're able to assist also in choosing some of those streets as well. And I think a lot of you actually drove those streets, like I know Mayor Pro Tem did, and she saw for herself, I see how these streets are bad, right? And I wish we could pave all the streets, because that'd be awesome. But we have limited funding, right? And so that's kind of the challenges that we have.
Thank you for the explanation. If nobody else has any other questions or comments at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve this item.
I motion to approve.
We have a first by Councilmember Alonso.
I'll second.
We have a second by Councilmember Peralta. If I can please have a roll call.
Councilmember Peralta?
Aye.
Councilmember Alonso?
Aye.
Councilmember Romero?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Tamayo?
Aye.
Mayor Melendez?
And I vote aye. All right, we'll move on to item number 15. That was pulled by Mayor Pro Tem Tamayo.
Yes, on the topic of streets. So I'd like to make a brief comment regarding the notice of completion for Plaza Drive. Plaza Drive is that small little street that leads to the mall behind Lincoln Boulevard on the backside toward San Gabriel. So I'm pleased to see this phase of the project and the completion, the notice of completion, but it's important to acknowledge that Plaza Drive will continue to experience significant traffic over the next 2 years due to the construction going on at Metro Heights. So the notice of completion reflects a milestone in the project, but it's now our responsibility to protect the long-term integrity of that roadway. So my question is, how will the city do that? Or will the developer have to leave the road in similar conditions to what it is today? Or will the developer pay for improvements? Those are my questions.
I'll take it.
Okay.
So look, on this one, I think I think we're very mindful of obviously we're completing the street, which is great news. And then other great news is we have a big development that's going to get built and also bring in a lot of property tax and sales tax revenue. But on the other end, a lot of trucks come in and out as part of the construction. So I think for us, what we need to do is make sure, we work with the developer and monitor things. Now, what is hard is to try to assess while it's happening, right? It's at least 2-3 more years of construction before we have that. So I think what we're going to have to do is work to figure out what condition the street is left at that point, and then assess what we can do beyond that. In terms of the developer, I mean, these are agreements that were put in place before, many years ago. These are not things that we can open up to try to get them to repave our streets, right? But I mean, we're happy to engage them, and then otherwise we try to figure out how we can do it ourselves. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments on this item? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve this item.
I motion to approve.
Okay, we have first by Mayor Pro Tem.
I second.
Second by Councilmember Alonso. If I can please have a roll call.
Councilmember Peralta?
Aye.
Councilmember Alonso?
Aye.
Councilmember Romero?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Tamayo?
Aye.
Mayor Melendez?
And I vote aye. All right, that item carries. We'll move on to item number 19. That was pulled by Councilmember Peralta.
Yes, I know that this is in regards to the application for the Los Angeles County Regional Park and Open Space District's Regional Recreation, Multi-Use Trails and Accessibility Grant Program. First off, I do just want to thank Director Sosnowski as well as just the city in terms of going after and actively pursuing more grant opportunities. The maintenance and uplift of our local parks is something that I think a lot of us have spoken in terms of being a priority. And so being able to see this grant move forward in terms of us approving the submission of it is something that very proud to support. Just wanted to see if city staff can just provide a high-level overview of what this grant application is, so our community is informed.
Yes, Councilmember, good question. So item 19, as you mentioned, is an application or a resolution to authorize an application to Measure A's Regional Parks District Fund. So work with staff, and I'll give Caesar and his team in Public Works some credit too, because we brainstormed some creative ways to make this work. So it's essentially a connectivity grant, which is similar to the Rio Hondo project you're seeing at Beverly and Rhea Drive, which also funded this type of project. So at Reggie Park was the park selected because the proximity to the Rio Hondo riverbed, and the main crux of the project is to build a walking trail that connects all the neighborhoods. 4th Street, Roosevelt has the Rio Hondo access point. So the sell to the grant application is that we have a connectivity to a regional benefit, right? Along with that, we get to go up to $4 million. So looking at the cost estimates from the engineering team here, we know we have a little bit more wiggle room, so we'll want to renovate the baseball field, replace the restrooms, do a multi-use court on the basketball court and make it a basketball/pickleball/futsal court, as well as redo the irrigation for water conservation purposes. So that'll probably take us towards the grant limit of $4 million. But the main thing is the walking trail that connects all the neighborhoods and into the riverbed as well.
Thank you so much for that description of the grant application. Just wishing the City of Montebello the best of luck in this process. Do we know what the timeline looks like for announcements of awarding?
Yes, actually, the county has a pretty aggressive plan to announce by March. It sounds like a while, but sometimes they take a year, so 4 or 5 months is pretty good.
Okay, well, we'll keep our eyes out. Thank you very much. Best of luck.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other comments or questions on this item? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve this item.
I motion to approve.
Okay, we have a first by Councilmember Alonso,
I second.
a second by Councilmember Romero. If I can please have a roll call.
Councilmember Peralta,
Aye.
Councilmember Alonso,
Aye.
Councilmember Romero,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Tamayo,
Aye.
Mayor Melendez.
And I vote aye. That item carries. We'll move on to item number 20 that was pulled by Councilmember Peralta as well as Councilmember Romero. So
Yeah, I'll let Councilmember Romero go ahead and go first.
Yes, I just wanted to say I'm really excited about everything that our city is doing, applying for these grants, because these projects are long overdue. The city park is in my district, and I know I'm out there for every birthday, for my birthday, for my kids' birthdays, and all of the parks, they're definite need of some love. So I wanted to see again also what was the projected proposal that this grant would be approved of, and when could we implement these changes in the parks.
Thank you, Councilmember. Another good question. So if you don't mind, I'll give a little background on that. So City Park, as you mentioned, that's our oldest playground, the North Playground. So that's why we chose that one. Would include replacing all the equipment, demolition, installation of an ADA accessible path into the playground. The good thing about Game Time and their kind of rush to get us to apply for this is they're going to award by the end of the year. So hopefully, if our application is accepted, we do have the match, which not a lot of cities are able to do. So we have our Measure A funds to match this, and we're hoping to find out by the end of the calendar year if we're awarded.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A similar question as well as in terms of a high-level overview of the opportunity. And again, just very thankful for you all in actively pursuing these grant opportunities for our park facilities.
okay, is there anybody else that would like to speak on this item? Okay, seeing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve this item.
I motion to approve.
Okay, we have first by Councilmember Alonso,
A second.
second by Councilmember Romero. Can I please have a roll call?
Councilmember Peralta,
Aye.
Councilmember Alonso,
Aye.
Councilmember Romero,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Tamayo,
Aye.
Mayor Melendez.
And I vote aye. That item passes. We'll move on to item number 23 that was pulled by Councilmember Peralta.
Yeah, this item is to approve the purchase of 2 police service dogs and necessary and related equipment and training. So just wanted to uplift that I think this is a very exciting item in terms of just bringing on 2 more police service dogs for our force. I know we've had the opportunity to meet previous service dogs that have really done incredible work here with the city of Montebello. So looking forward to welcoming them to our family, and also highlighting that we just recently brought on a urban search and rescue dog for our fire department, who I believe came from Texas, and his name is Nacho. Very, very friendly dog. And so very nice to see the use of just canines in terms of public safety and the ways that we service our community. Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else that would like to speak on this item or any questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve this item.
I'll motion to approve.
We have a first by Councilmember Peralta,
I second.
second by Councilmember Alonso. If I could please have a roll call.
Councilmember Peralta,
Aye.
Councilmember Alonso,
Aye.
Councilmember Romero,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Tamayo,
Aye.
Mayor Melendez.
And I vote aye. Okay, that item carries. All right, that completes the consent calendar. We'll move to AB 1234 travel reports. Do any of my colleagues have anything to report? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move to council orals. And we have some by Councilmember Romero. Councilmember Romero, I know there's also an addition to an event that's happening this weekend. Right now would be also the appropriate time to discuss that item with your council orals.
Okay, yes. First item, I would like to just thank the firefighters. They went out to the wildland fires and supported up there. And as a veteran, I know what it's like to be deployed, even on just training missions. It's tough to be away from your family. So I'm just really grateful for our firefighters and all that they do in the community. And I just wanted to acknowledge them and give them thanks. Also, I am a commissioner on the SIACA Council, and they recently launched a program in August called Wild Tunes. And it's a really great program where anyone can volunteer to, if you're a musician, you could sing or play an instrument to the animals. And it's really soothing and calming to these animals. A lot of these animals, when they come to the shelter, they may be healthy, but once they're in the shelter, animals get depressed too. And it really does play a big role on them, and they can get sick. And music is very healing. So I recommend to any of you who maybe are musically inclined that you look at their website at siaka.org and sign up to play for the animals, even just an hour or half an hour. Maybe if you have a child who plays an instrument, I think that'd be a really great idea just to help out with animal shelters. And then also this Saturday, there's going to be a ruck march in honor of veterans who are struggling who have committed suicide. Unfortunately, this is something really real that happens. I'm a VSO at the VA, and I deal with veterans who have PTSD, and a lot of those things aren't spoken about, and they have a hard time when they get back relating to society, relating to their families, and these are things that we speak about. And so there's going to be a ruck march this weekend, and it will be ending at Rio's Pizza. And I believe myself and some other council members, Senator Archuleta will be a part of that. And so I just encourage you, even if you don't want to do the march, just to come out and support and even meet us at the end. It will be ending, I believe, at 11:30. If you could just be there and support and show your support for fellow veterans, because this is something that we take very seriously, and we need to let our veterans know that we support them. Thank you.
Thank you. And just one flag, this Friday, with our city clerk, we have the coffee with the mayor. So if anybody, is it Conchas? Yeah, I didn't read my own flag. Conchas with the mayor, it's happening here at 6:30. So hopefully everyone can join us and we can provide some updates and also hear some issues, questions, and have a conversation looking forward to the conversation that we'll be having with all of you. All right, this concludes, this concludes the open session of the agenda. So we still have business to discuss in closed session. So we'll be moving to closed session.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and members of the council. We do have to recess back to closed session for item number 1 of closed session, public employee performance evaluation. What's that? You're going to provide a report? Oh, yes, yes, sir. You ready to roll?
All right. We're back from closed session. I'll turn over to our city attorney to provide a report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. The record should reflect that the City Council convened with all 5 members being present, that the City Council discussed the additional item that was mentioned, which related to the performance evaluation item. There was no action taken. There's nothing required to be reported at this time. This item will be brought back at your next regular City Council meeting. With that, it's appropriate to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I just want to thank everybody who stuck with us here, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I
All
will
right.
second.
Okay, we have first and second, and we are adjourned.